216-578-1007 if you want to join us live. 800-348-1007. Text me at 35192 if you want. AlanCoxShow.com is where you can watch live. Thanks to Walper Hemieship for assisting. By the way, and I won't mention where they work, but I was talking to somebody over the weekend. I was out at Pix in Portage Lakes. I'm doing these appearances in Portage Lakes all month to get people on this Hawaii trip with Kona Brewing. And boy, it was an all-star event this past Saturday. Stripper Scott was there.
Saw that.
Gaylord came out.
Saw that.
With his lovely wife.
Yeah.
Intense Randy was there.
Oh, man.
And, boy, I'll tell you what, it was quite the afternoon. The weather couldn't have been nicer. But I'm talking to this guy, and I won't mention where he works, but he's out there. And he was telling me about how, let me phrase this properly, that our live YouTube feed has actually come in quite handy for them because the show was generating so much web traffic to their office that management blocked the iHeart feed.
Yeah.
That's right. And he said part of it was that everyone in the office, or most of the people in the office, were communicating to each other with so much inside language from this show.
Oh, that's really funny.
So they would be yelling like, good afternoon, white people, which is how Pound Cake used to introduce himself. And, no babies, and when Mary used to say that. And he said that someone filed an HR complaint because the people on the outside didn't know what the hell was going on. And so it turned into a situation. But that the YouTube, our live video feed, apparently is not on anyone's radar yet at the management level. So that's how they're still able to dig the show. But I was like, wow, that's the wildest thing I've heard in a long, long time. That you guys in your office are just throwing inside stuff from the program around, and somebody on the outside of that hears it, doesn't like it. I mean, what's the text of that complaint, by the way? Like, do you walk in? I mean, we don't have HR here anymore. Many, many years ago, we had an in-house HR person. I think, didn't we? We used to be at Oak Tree back in the day?
Yeah, we had
HR in-house, right? We don't have HR on site anymore now here at 668 Euclid. And I think probably that's true of a lot of places where HR is only done at a corporate level. But that was pretty wild. But I was like, well, I'm not going to mention where you work, obviously, because I don't want to blow up anybody's spot. But it did occur to me as he was mentioning, and I was like, oh, well, I'm glad that the live stream has come in rather than just.
We've had a few people mention that the iHeart stream's blocked at their work, so the only way they can listen is through the live stream.
Yeah. Well, that's good, because I don't think of it that way. I think of it as just kind of a fun thing for people to have. But it sounds like it's really become a lifeline for people, Bill. Think about that.
Right.
And we have Walper Hemieship. Walper Hemieship.
Walper, yeah.
Walper Hemieship.
Walper.
To thank for that. And you, of course, as the head of the video department.
Right.
You're the one putting these people in what has turned out to be a very important position.
I'd try.
Here at the Alan Cox Show. So yeah, anyway, I'm sure Gaylord will call later on. But
I just got a message from somebody, just the way our language has seeped into some, people's culture is when people don't call it Romo Fijo, and they have to explain that it's Rock and Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Even the Cleveland Police Department calls it that now on their radios. Yeah, well, Cleveland Scene prints articles as Romo Fijo, and I like it whenever and wherever I see it or hear it. I enjoy that. Some dumb little thing that's made its way into the popular lexicon. if I can make some small contribution to local culture, happy to do it. Hey, how did the Guardians do over the weekend? They did pretty well, right? 2 of 3 in Toronto?
I think they lost 2 of 3.
Oh, they lost 2 of 3.
Because I'm pretty sure they lost yesterday.
Okay. Well, there it is.
Let me check.
I think you might be right there. Blue Jays 5-0 on Saturday, 7-6 yesterday. Okay, so the Guardians lost too.
They fought back yesterday but yeah, they gave up a grand slam. That's when I was watching. Saw the grand slam. I was like, God. And then I went down to the pool.
Sure, to cool off.
Back down to the pool.
Back down to the pool.
I did 2 separate sessions yesterday.
All right. Now, did you have company? Was it a solo thing?
Had my friend. Pants and another friend were over later, but earlier in the day was my girlfriend and I.
Oh, okay. Did you guys have your dinner? Weren't you guys going to dinner or something?
No, we went to dinner on Saturday.
How was that?
It was good.
Yeah?
Because we went to
Was it fancy?
Well, no.
Oh.
We went to the National Comedy Center, and then I had a gig in...
Oh, right. You were in Salamanca.
In Salamanca, which was very beautiful. It was fun.
The town or the venue?
The venue. It was like on the side of a mountain, basically. So like there's this big, like all these big rolling hills behind me. It was very picturesque.
Wow.
It was fun. Bernie came out. He's a customer up there. Gave me some weed because he works at a different place.
He wasn't working there?
No,
he's in a different part of the mountains.
Yeah, growing weed. But he grows his own weed, and he gave me some, and I've tried it, and it's very good.
Wow,
so
homegrown. Did he have a cool name for it, like Purple Icky or?
Probably, I don't know.
Everybody's got.
But it was.
And they love telling you. They go, hey, man, careful. This is Diamond Dolphin. You want to be careful with this.
But it was good, and so that was fun, but we went to the Comedy Center, and then we went to dinner at this place called The Pub in Jamestown, and a nice calm,
a little
Saturday.
Getaway.
Yeah, a little getaway.
Oh boy!
Brought the dog.
And the show was good.
Show was all right.
It was all right.
It was all right.
Venue was nicer than the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
There's it's one of those things where they're trying to do something, and they didn't exactly. It's it's a check gig.
Understood.
It was fun still.
Alan, my wife, does not listen to the show and looks very confused when I tell people that we're going to a concert at Romo Fijo. Well, that's the best part, There are 2 great things. One is if somebody knows what you're talking about. Even better is when they have no idea what you're talking about. I find both of those equally enjoyable. We went to the movies yesterday for Father's Day because I didn't really care what we did. And so I said, well, let's go to the movies. And we took her to see a movie called If. With Ryan Reynolds and basically everybody who is apparently friends with John Krasinski does a voice in this movie. So it's Clooney and it's Amy Schumer and Steve Carell is one of the main voices, and it's they give Brad Pitt a credit even though his character had no lines. But I don't know how well that movie is doing. By the end of it, my wife and my child were sobbing because it's one of those movies that's made to really poke you right in the feels. Except it was the movie, it was entertaining enough, but it's, for people who've seen it, you might agree, it's so messy that you can't really understand. There's so many kind of gaps, even for a movie where they're trying to connect people with their imaginary friends from when they were a kid. So there's all these kind of weird characters. So halfway through the movie, I'm like, how would that be? Like one of the characters is a glass of water with an ice cube in it. And it's talking. I'm like, what kid would have that as his imaginary? I couldn't get my head around it. It was really taking me out of the movie. I'm like, wow, what kid would have a glass of water with an ice cube in it as his imaginary friend? But then you just don't know what kids are thinking. You never know, And I guess that's the point of the movie is that kids can, when you're little, that's when your imagination is on high alert. And when you get older, you can't see them anymore. And that's so it was fine. It was entertaining enough. We didn't go see Inside Out 2 because I don't know that they've seen Inside Out 1. I've still never seen it. And I was worried I wouldn't be able to follow.
I think you would.
You think so? Apparently this movie just exploded. So
yeah, people love that movie.
Oh my God. I knew Inside Out was a big deal, but they were like Inside Out 2 shattered every expectation, even the high expectations they had, since it's a sequel to a very, very popular Pixar movie. Biggest debut since Barbie.
Wow.
Made $155 million the first weekend.
That's
The worldwide, it's about $300 million. I guess Bad Boys did really well, too.
My daughter saw that.
There's all these movies I didn't even realize were out yet.
Yeah, my daughter saw that, and she said it was really good.
Bad Boys Ride for Life. What is it?
Ride or Die.
Ride or Die. Well, because the thing is, this was going to be a litmus test for how much people gave a rat's ass about Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you'll still see things written about him hitting Chris Rock, and people are like, well, this is the end of his career. But if you pay attention to the world, you go, no, he'll be fine. People will still go see Will Smith. Well, they'll go see Bad Boys. Because, you know, if he's going to make another movie where he's playing some dude nobody cares about, they're not going to go see it. But I've only ever seen the first Bad Boys. And that was, Taya Leone, I think, was the
and 30 years
female lead. Was it that old, the first Bad Boys?
It's
not that old.
It's pretty old.
Wow. Well, anyway, that one...
Bad Boys 2 came out in, 2004?
I don't know. Bad Boys...
95.
95.
Yeah. Yep.
Holy cow.
Yep.
Well, yeah, there you go. Well, I guess it would have had to be the mid-90s if Taya Leone was the lead, but... Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys for Life. Oh, this is the fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I've only ever seen the first one. But I guess...
I've seen the first and the second one. I haven't seen third or fourth, but...
Now, are they planning an Inside-Out Bad Boys crossover? Because I'll tell you what, you know, as fewer and fewer companies own all the intellectual property. And so they're just looking for ways to smash things together and hopefully make a boatload of money.
Another interesting fact about the YouTube stream is sometimes the audio is a little different there, and they're hearing people calling in right now. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know what to tell you about that, but...
Well, that's just something's punched that shouldn't be punched.
Not over here, it's not. Let me see here. Hold on. I don't think so.
All right. I don't know.
Standard operating procedure. Hey, Gaylord.
Hey, Mr. Cox. I just want to say how delightful it was to meet you and how very, very nice you were to my wife and I.
I am delightful, aren't I? You know, people don't take much stock of that because I can really be a prick sometimes, but I'm unfailingly polite in person. But I really am delightful. It's just an adjective, Bill, that so infrequently gets applied to me that, boy, Gaylord's right.
You're very, very nice to meet in person, and I saw how you were treating everybody there. So you're just a delight. So
I called Gaylord's wife a saint because she drove him out to Portage Lakes from Wellington, which is no small trip. I mean, it's probably shorter than that one they were going to go out and see you in Madison, but it's a haul. It's a trip, you know. So I appreciate you guys coming out, Gaylord.
It was worthwhile so much, and it was on my bucket list to meet you, and I got to do it. And
so, what's left on the bucket list, Gaylord?
Well, I want to see Mary and meet her in person, and I just want to travel and see Bill perform. And
this Saturday or Friday, I'm going to be at Old 86. You can come there to see me perform comedy.
It's a lot quicker of a trip than heading to Portage Lakes.
BillSquire.com.
What? Where is it at, bud?
It's a place called Old 86. It's in Cleveland.
It's in Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll check it out with my wife and see if she wants to go with me. I'll drag her to that.
There you go.
No, she doesn't mind. But thank you guys for your time, and thank you for putting me on the air. And I got to meet other individuals that call in, you know, Stripper Scott.
Oh, yeah, it was Intense Randy was there. I posted a side-by-side of Stripper Scott and Gaylord because they both have these long gray beards. And I was like, I don't know that these worlds are ever going to collide again. So I took advantage of it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Gaylord. I appreciate you coming out.
You for your time and putting me on, you all. Bye-bye.
All right, there's Gaylord, who's out there in Wellington. Did you see that photo I posted? Of,
I sure
Gaylord?
did.
Oh, I think I sent it to the
Yeah,
group
sent
chat,
it to the
didn't I?
group chat too. Yeah.
That's right. And, well, yeah, he couldn't have been nicer. His wife is, I think he's considerably older than his wife. But as he told us before, here on one of the times he called in, he had 3 prior, what he calls practice wives, which is probably, in schools now, by the way, and I don't know if it's risen to the middle school level, but in elementary and primary schools now.
They just say Riz now, by the way.
I'm sorry? Riz. Yeah. They tell kids now, practice makes progress. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
You can't say practice makes perfect because perfection doesn't exist, and they're trying to impart this onto the kids.
Which is good.
It is good. There's nothing wrong with it. I've just had to recalibrate. When I say practice makes perfect, my third grader will correct me, and I'll say, that's right. I don't mind that. Practice makes progress. So Gaylord had 3 what he calls practice wives, which has got to make them feel good. But if they're all still around, I don't know. Alan, my imaginary friend was an ice cube with a glass of water in it. What? I don't know. Why the hell would you see If instead of Inside Out 2? It didn't do that great and it sucked. That's what Jason in Charlotte says. Well, I wouldn't say it sucked. And if who knows what I would have liked? I mean, we might have gone to see Inside Out 2, and she might not have liked that.
She liked it though, right?
What's that?
Nora liked it.
No, she liked If a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But if who knows? We might have gone to see Inside Out 2, and
I think you should have taken her to see Bad Boys 4.
I wanted to, but nobody was. I said, "Hey, it's Father's Day.
That's got to drive them
I want to go
crazy.
see In a Violent Nature."
It's got to drive them crazy that they called the third one Bad Boys for Life when they could have called that one Bad Boys Ride or Die and the fourth one Bad Boys for Life.
Well, you never know if you're going to get another one, right?
I know,
mean,
but you still could have just been like, oh, we'll save. Let's just save for life if we do get, because then you use the number 4, and it makes it all. Everybody's like, oh, that's brilliant.
I see.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
That's really sticking in your craw.
It is.
That they should have called the other one Ride or Die?
They should have called the third one Ride or Die.
Yeah.
And then Bad Boys 4 should have been Bad Boys. The number 4.
The number 4.
Life.
I see.
People love when you do stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, they really do. One of the trailers we saw before If was for Moana 2. And I looked at my daughter, said, have you seen Moana? Because I'm working all the time. I don't know. She goes, yeah, we liked it. I said, okay, good. And then I look at Gwen, I go, why didn't they call, instead of Moana 2, why didn't they call it Mo-ana?
That would have been great.
Apostrophe A-N-A.
Mm-hmm.
She just gave me a look. I said, well, I'm just saying, they call these movies Too Fast, Too Furious. Call it Mo-ana.
I mean, Fast and Furious is one that got one of the most egregious name misses in all of cinema.
Which is what?
Fast 10, they just called it Fast X when they could have called it Fast 10, Your Seat Belts.
Right. Fast 10. Oh. Somebody had to have come up with that, and it got shot down. Which I hope that person got fired. Because Fast 10, Your Seat Belts is way better.
Yeah.
Except by that time, it was less about the cars, and it was more like they're boosting nuclear weapons now in those movies. I think I bailed.
They're going into space.
Yeah,
They've done so much stuff that's so stupid.
You got to keep ratcheting it up.
But
now they're James Bond.
They are like playing into the ridiculousness of it. So why not